Alongside geopolitical implications and disruptions in energy supplies, Euro area is confronted with challenges. Having said that, we'll be discussing on Eurozone economic activity. Euro area economy grew by 0.6% in the first quarter of 2022, thus standing 0.8% above its pre-pandemic level. The stronger than expected outcome was driven by a double-digit quarterly GDP increase in Ireland. On average, the rest of the euro area economy grew by 0.3%. Modest positive growth is expected in the second quarter as the favorable impact from lifting pandemic-related restrictions on euro area activity is counteracted by adverse factors caused or amplified by the war in Ukraine, as well as by new pandemic-related measures in China. This demonstrates euro area real GDP and its components, such as private consumption, government consumption, gross capital formation, so on and so forth. GDP increased by 0.6% quarter on quarter in the first quarter of the year. Contribution from domestic demand stood at negative 0.4%, signaling an overall weakness in domestic sources of growth. By contrast, net trade and changes in inventories made a positive contribution to growth. Economic activity is expected to be somewhat weaker in the second quarter of 2022, negatively affected by the consequences of the war in Ukraine, but still supported by the recovery in contact intensive services. This figure displays survey indicators across sectors of the economy. Composite output PMI indicator decreased in May, but remains in expansionary territory and well above its long-term average. However, there are signs of weakening activity in the manufacturing sector, particularly affected by intensified supply chain disruptions and higher commodity prices due to Russia's invasion, as well as the rise in overall uncertainty. Improvement in business confidence in May was mostly driven by the services sector, while sentiment deteriorated further in the industrial and retail sectors. This chart demonstrates labor market in the euro area continues to improve despite the economic impact of the war in Ukraine. Unemployment rate stood at 6.8% in April 2022, broadly unchanged since March and around 0.6% lower than the pre-pandemic level observed in February 2020. This chart reveals that despite the weak near-term prospects, euro area economic activity is expected to regain momentum later this year and expand at a relatively solid pace. This outlook is, however, surrounded by considerable uncertainty. During 2020, Eurosystem staff macroeconomic projections foresee annual real GDP growth at 2.8% in 2022 and 2.1% in both 2023 and 24. Compared with the March 2022 ECB staff macroeconomic projections, outlook has been revised downwards significantly for 2022 and 23, mainly owing to the economic impact of the war in Ukraine. While for 2024, it has been revised upwards, reflecting a rebound in activity as headwinds fade. The risk to the economic outlook, as assessed by Eurosystem staff, continued to be tilted to the downside. One key risk is the possibility of a severe disruption to European energy supplies from Russia following the implementation of the EU sanctions, leading to further increases in energy prices and production cuts. Today's presentation is based on European Commercial Bank's Economic Bulletin issue number 4 of 2022, Economic, Financial and Monetary Developments. Thanks for watching.